I thought I was about to die. The car came out of nowhere, speeding like it had no brakes. I was on the edge of the sidewalk, distracted by my phone, waiting for the traffic light to turn red. The next thing I knew, someone grabbed my arm and yanked me back so hard I almost fell. The car whooshed past me, missing me by inches. I froze. My chest was tight, and my heart was pounding like a drum. I turned and saw him, a man, probably in his late 20s, looking as scared as I felt. His grip on my arm was firm, and for a second, we both just stood there, staring at each other. "Are you okay?" he asked, his voice shaky. I nodded, though my legs felt like jelly. "You saved me," I whispered, barely able to get the words out. He didn't say much after that, just mumbled, "Be careful," and walked off. I didn't even get his name. That moment stayed with me. I couldn't stop thinking about how close I came to not being here anymore, how a split-second decision from a stranger changed everything. A week later, I saw him again. This time, it was in a small park near my apartment. He was sitting alone on a bench, staring at the ground. I walked over and said, "Hey, remember me?" He looked up, surprised, then nodded. "Yeah, from the street." "Are you okay now?" I smiled. "I think I am, thanks to you. Can I sit?" We started talking. His name was Kofi. He had just lost his job that same day he saved me. He told me how he'd been wandering the streets, feeling like a failure, when he saw me about to step into danger. "I wasn't even thinking," he said. "I just moved." That day, we talked for hours. He told me about how hard it was to find work, how he was scared of what the future might hold. I told him about my own struggles, being a freelance writer in a city that sometimes feels too big, too loud, and too fast. Over time, our conversations became a regular thing. We'd meet in the park, share snacks, and talk about everything, dreams, fears, and the little joys we still found in life. One evening, as the sun set over the trees, Kofi told me, "That day, saving you, it reminded me that maybe I'm not completely useless." I didn't know what to say. So, I took his hand, placed it on my chest, and said, "Do you feel that?" My heart beat. "That's because of you." He looked at me like he didn't believe it, but I meant every word. It's been 3 years since that day. Life isn't perfect, but it's ours. Kofi got a new job, and I finally started believing in my writing. We've built something together, something steady, something real. And every time things feel chaotic, like life is spinning too fast, I think about that moment on the street. About how a stranger pulled me back from the brink. And how, in the middle of all that noise and fear, I found him. Or maybe, he found me. Sometimes, the most important things happen when you're not looking.